Why is it that so many young people, especially in colleges today, buy into ideologies like DEI, diversity, equity, inclusivity, and the anti-Zionism? Why are so many young people buying into these ideologies? They have no idea what they're really championing. They have no idea what's really going on in the Middle East. They have no idea the history and so on. Why is that? Because the generation today, unfortunately, does not have the privilege that I had growing up, my generation. Oh, many young people bought into ideologies back then too, because they were around then too. Because you see, what it all is, and what I was privileged to have, I was privileged to have training and actually family experience in these ideologies. In other words, basically, you can wrap them up in the term communism. I grew up hearing the stories of what was happening under Soviet communism, happening to my own relatives, my own family members, especially those connected with my church, the Byzantine Catholic Church, in areas such as Slovakia, Ukraine, and so on. We even had martyrs, such as these three bishops, who died under communist oppression. Many priests, nuns, monastics, and bishops died, as well as lay people. I grew up knowing this horror and the terror, the evil, this ideology that young people today embrace unknowingly. I also had another privilege, another blessing. My generation grew up watching on black and white TV on Sunday evenings a prophetic voice, Bishop Fulton J. Sheen. Bishop Sheen used to get on the TV, and so many people watched him back then on their black and white TV sets, and he did literally a surgery, an anatomy of communism, of communist ideology, and how it was evil and insidious, and how it was infiltrating our culture, especially the minds of the young. Well, what happened was many people from that young generation grew up and eventually became the professors in colleges that we have now. Many of them were duped by the communist ideology that Bishop Sheen tried to expose, and he did so masterfully. But some people didn't get it, and now they're the teachers of our young minds. And they purposely shield these young minds from the understanding of communism, of what Bishop Sheen did for us in my time growing up. And so all these young people are buying into these ideologies mindlessly. Anti-Zionism, pro-Hamas, DEI, socialism, communism, everything anti what is our civilization. And actually anti what is ultimately God, because they don't know better. They didn't have the privilege that I did, my generation did, of a prophet like Bishop Fulton J. Sheen. He is worthy of canonization, and we're going to take another step forward, hopefully in that progress at our Church of Annunciation here this coming Sunday at the Second National Byzantine Catholic Church, right here, the second annual, right here, this Byzantine Catholic Church, the second annual Bishop Sheen movement. In other words, a Bishop Sheen rally to gather signatures and have our voices heard by the powers that be to unpause his cause for canonization. He's already declared to be venerable by Pope Benedict XVI, and Pope Francis also affirmed his cause for canonization. So it's in process, but it's a bit stalled. We're trying to move it along because we need his voice today, this prophetic voice that I had the privilege to grow up with, so I could see the evils in these ideologies. Young people today, most of them cannot. Some can, but most of them are just unaware. You can find out about this, and hopefully you'll join us by going to FultonSheenMovement.com, FultonSheenMovement.com. Be with us this Sunday in prayer and fraternity. Have a good meal, in fact, and dedicate yourself to a cause that is so relevant today, just as relevant as it was when I was growing up. Unpause the cause for canonization of this prophet of our time, an American bishop, Bishop Fulton J. Sheen.